Hello YouTube. Now sorry I haven't posted any of these videos in a while. Basically I've got to do the paintings before I can talk about them. So this one was one of the first ones that I did after the last video, and this was called First Glimpse of Sun. It's supposed to show the cows as they let out of the cow sheds over the winter, and it's the first time they get out in the spring, and they're jumping across the fields and things like that. It's just as they poke their heads straight out the door. And this painting, the entire idea was the composition of it. If you look at the main cow, it makes this kind of hump shape across the painting over the middle, and the second cow behind it does the same just behind, and then this wall at the bottom, which I painted, was originally going to be another cow itself, just like the back of a cow, but when I painted that in, it didn't look quite right. It was a little bit too full on. The whole picture was going to be really dark, so I made it a wall in the end so I could get some lighter colours there at the bottom. But it still doesn't really subtract from the initial idea that I had of this kind of three-tiered picture, and I'm pretty happy with the result. Now, second point was that when people see my paintings, they often say to me that when they paint something dark like that, the whole picture looks grey and dull by the time they're finished. Well, it doesn't have to. If you look at a cow or something similar, anything dark really, if you look a bit closer, it's not black at all. There's all sorts of colours in there. I don't think I actually used any black in this whatsoever. It's all mixed from ultramarine, Venetian red, and when you want it warm, you err on the side of the Venetian red, and when you want it cooler, you go towards ultramarine. So you're mixing black, which is either red shade or blue shade, whether you want it warmer or cooler. And so I washed that over the top, and then the other colours that you see coming through are things like cerulean blue. There's a lot of raw umber in there, browns, yellows even, greens, purples. When you look at a cow, all these colours are there. Usually what you have to do in a painting to give it the life that you really want is kind of manufacture a colour and force it out of what you're seeing. With a cow, it's all there for you to see. You just have to look closely, and it'll show itself to you. There are two other tricks that I used here. I made the light source come directly down on top of this main cow, so that the shadow from its ear would frame the face. Okay, so you've got this how to explain it, because the cow comes along and then you've got this kind of stopper on the end, which is its face. It stands out as its own little section of the painting, and it's really framed by the white of the fence and the dark of its ear. That was intentional to bring all the focus, all the arrows around the picture point to this section. Hopefully that worked. All the other lines there just draw your eye towards this face. Okay, that's intentional. That's how you create a composition. Okay. The other thing which I did here was, you see on the cow's head the fleck of white on its forehead. That was going to blend straight in to the colour of the background, which I didn't want. I wanted the outline all around the cow to be very strong, to keep that shape going and in an unbroken line. And so what I did, I manufactured where the paint on this back fence was, so that it would break up that line. And these are things that you have to think about when you're painting. For instance, if I was painting an owl or something, or a bird that was against the sky, you get sections of the owl which are a very, very similar tone and lightness to the sky, and you have to kind of move clouds or move shadows and things like that, so that that line of your main subject, the outline, is a completely different shade to what it's sitting against, so that it doesn't just fade into the background. And that's how I did this painting. Thanks very much.